Ready? Play.
Okay, let's have a quick look at the other match tomorrow, which is going to be Jannik Sinner against Alexander Zverev. Now, this is a matchup that, of course, we're much more familiar with. It'll be the night match, by the way, at 8:30 local time, 7:30 in the UK. That'll be 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, and I don't know what time elsewhere, but probably half past the hour somewhere in the world. Their matchup is 4-5, by the way. That's 5, of course, for Jannik Sinner and 4 for Alexander Zverev. Of course, both of them won their first 2 matches in straight sets. Zverev, as I mentioned before, beating Ben Shelton, looked pretty comfortable, looked pretty assured, as you'd expect of someone who's won this title twice before and is a serial appearer at this tournament. But Jannik Sinner also looked equally assured in his straight sets win over Felix Auger-Aliassime, and that was his 27th consecutive win on indoor hard. Is he going to make it 28 against Alexander Zverev? Let's have a quick look at some of their more recent occasions that they've met. Now, of course, they met recently in 2 indoor clashes that were very different in nature. One was both were wins for Jannik Sinner, but 6-love, 6-1 in Paris when, of course, Alexander Zverev seemed to be compromised by an ankle injury. The previous one in Vienna was much closer, 7-5 in the third, but ultimately both going the way of Jannik Sinner. Jannik there looked a bit physically constrained in that third set. Jannik is on a run of 4 wins in a row against the German. All have been on hard. There were 2 on outdoor hard, including, of course, the Australian Open final this year, then followed by those 2 indoor hard matches I referenced. That, by the way, that run of 4 wins for Sinner, which is kind of Sinner 2.0, really. Since we've seen the new post-puke Sinner, he is on a winning run against Zverev, because Zverev's previous win against him was more than 2 years ago at the US Open in an epic encounter that seemed to go on forever. And I remember Damien and I commentating on that in the early hours of the morning. In fact, I think it was even early morning in Germany by the time it concluded with the light appearing. Both players struggling big style physically in that clash, and it was kind of survival of the fittest, and in the end that happened to be Zverev. But I do think Sinner has made big strides forward as well in terms of his health, and he does seem to have a far better level of endurance now compared to then, and I think that has aided and abetted his soar to the top of tennis. Of course, he has just slipped from the top of tennis in terms of he's now world number 2. He needs to win the title and hope that Carlos Alcaraz doesn't win another match at this tournament, because Carlos Alcaraz has won 2 matches so far, having just seen off Taylor Fritz. All right, prediction time. Am I going to surprise you with a Zverev win? No. 3 sets, though, for Jannik Sinner. I think he'll get the job done. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca Jorge, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans and I'm a friend of the show.
My name is Zainab Sammaz and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is in the world, wherever you are tuning in from. Fergus, can you guess what my first question is going to be for you?
Who is going to win?
No.
Will Ben Shelton win a match at the ATP Finals?
No. But you're getting closer.
Will this be 2 or 3 sets?
No. You're getting colder now. You were closer with the first one, with the other one.
Who will win the group?
No. All right, I'm just going to
Will-
ask you.
Yeah, go
what
for
did
it.
you think of the Shelton-Felix match or result or both?
Well, I actually think that's 3 matches in a row that have been a good advert for the ATP Finals. I think it was Scott who tweeted I think it was just 2 nights ago, just after the Zverev, the Sinner FAA match, and said this generation of ATP Finals is just rubbish because all the matches are just terrible because everyone's all so tired, and I think that's kind of been disproven almost immediately. Fritz Alcaraz yesterday was excellent. So was Musetti de Minaur. That was a great match. The atmosphere was excellent. And today, listen, I think Ben was less erratic than he was for Zverev, for sure. Had more composure and felt like a little more balanced in his game. But there's still the unknown variety that he's throwing in. Also, the double on set point, that's a big cough up for a big player, you feel. It was just, Ben, still throwing in that second serve and volley, which, I still haven't seen a lot of. Overall, Felix just kind of coming out with that pedigree of indoor prowess, just sticking in, hanging in, and then, Ben sort of, not having a great game at 6-5 and, kind of coughs it up, trying to go big on that match point down, but played with too much margin and hitting down the middle of the court and he can hit big down the middle of the court, but Felix can also do that. And, then Felix just has when hitting over the top of the higher point of the net on the backhand side, I feel like Felix is more accomplished and can lean on it more. Going cross court, I think it's Ben's, but going down the line and switching, I feel like it still is Felix's. But yeah, a good result for Felix obviously keeps him alive. Ben needs a miracle now. Hi, Jake.
The thing that makes probably pre-tournament, I was thinking to myself, or I think I even just said it off the cuff. I was like, ATP Finals, don't know if it's delivered in recent years. How many great matches can you think of? And then I thought, I then paused and I remembered 2023 group match between Djokovic and Sinner was a contender. In fact, we might even have done an episode on it as one of the matches of that particular year. So that kind of, if you get one match per tournament, you can't expect to have 3 contenders for match of the year. However, where I've obviously got the feeling from, and where I'm sure that I would probably owe a little bit more to what Scott tweeted, was the fact that, but the final between Sinner and Djokovic was a duffer. And how many great finals have we had? Well, we haven't had a 3-set final since 2020. So not since it left since it left London to come to Turin and the quick. So, and there have been a lot of, and what do you want to have? Yeah, we want to have some good group matches, but we also want to see, whoever Sinner plays today, for example, or whoever Sinner plays in the semi-finals or the final, have an amazing 3-setter, even if Sinner ends up ultimately winning it. Otherwise, you kind of don't remember the rest of the tournament. You don't remember, you may not even remember Musetti, believe it or not, in a couple of years, Musetti de Minaur. Maybe you'll just go, oh, remember that match point? Oh, yeah, that was an unbelievable match point. And was he a breakdown? Oh, was he? But that's about it. And that's only going to be tennis nerds. So, but on the flip side, there wasn't a great deal of, there's a walkover in there in London as well between Djokovic and Federer. And there's also quite a lot of straight setters there, but they are straight setters between, some of the legends of the game. So it is, especially for Scott, obviously there's Andy Murray in there a few times, etc., etc. But I kind of had the same feeling as Scott. But then when I thought about it, and there was also, by the way, in the last one in London, I remember Nadal, Dominic Thiem, even though it was straight sets, it was probably the best straight sets match that year and one of the best straight sets matches I've seen in living memory. It was 7-6, 7-6 for Dominic, but the levels was off the charts. And yeah, but 2020, there were some good semis as well that year because Dominic Thiem, Djokovic was probably that tournament is the last really good tournament when I think about it, especially from start to finish, because in the semis you had Team Djokovic, which was top 9 out of 10 sort of level match, and Nadal, Medvedev probably in terms of quality didn't hit the same heights as Dominic versus Novak, but the drama was there. Rafa served for the match to win it in straights, doesn't serve it out. There's also some bizarre points in that match. I think there's one. What is it? I think there's a smash, I think, from Rafa and Medvedev mishits it somehow. I know what it was, a mishit lob, which you don't see that often. And I think it might have been on break point, match point, or might even have been in the third set tiebreak, which I think it went to. But there was lots of, or second set tiebreak. So there was lots of drama then. And I don't think it's been replicated ever since, despite that amazing. And you're right, some of these group matches are great. But if you get a couple of, if Alcaraz has already qualified and Sinner have already qualified by the last match, and then the other two matches are a bit boring and one person's already out and there's only drama involved with, seeing if Taylor Fritz can win against Demon in straight sets, then yeah. So that's the problem with the ATP finals, I guess. But I'm not against it. It's just how it is.
Yeah. And last year, obviously, you had it didn't have the same sort of oomph to it because, Alcaraz went out in the group stage and, there was just never going to be
sense of inevitability.
No, yeah. I mean, the most entertaining match probably that last ATP finals was probably Fritz Zverev in the semifinals.
That was good. Yeah, that was good.
But Fritz always comes through against Zverev.
Yeah. But the finals, I think of Djokovic, Sinner, pretty one-sided, in fact, very one-sided. Now, that's just because Djokovic arguably played the last time he played a match from start to finish at the absolute sort of 9 out of 10 level. I remember Jannik arriving in Malaga for the Davis Cup, and he was picked up by Lopez. Feliciano Lopez met him at the airport, and they had a brief exchange, funny enough, in Italian, and basically he's like, how was it, and he said, yeah. He said, are you tired, Feliciano? He's actually, Jannik said, no, I'm all right. He just said that Novak was off the charts, basically, and there wasn't much I could do that particular day. That tournament, though, and that period, of course, is when we started to see Jannik 2.0, and we're seeing him again now. He's serving first in this encounter, and it's 15-love already to the Italian.
Yeah, I mean, I still think this could be, I don't know how Zverev's obviously feeling if everything's fine. I still think this could probably be, I'd probably say that, I'm just trying to think, is there anyone that I would say gives Sinner more of a challenge than Zverev apart from Alcaraz in this entire
field?
Yeah.
Right now, probably he's sort of the next one. It's just that I just think that there is some optimism in the right conditions and the right situation for Ben or Felix. Now, obviously, Ben is gone. But I don't mean maybe this year. I said before the tournament, look, there's somebody there with a flashlight on, silly Billy. I said before the tournament started, I think this tournament has come just a bit too soon for Ben for two reasons. One, third tournament back after injury, and now you're playing a bunch of top 10 players, and your record against top 10 players isn't great, as we know. And then the other thing, of course, is it's his first time here. And so, I think that was probably more important for Felix to win because this is his second time here. This is the absolute optimum conditions. Best of three, indoors, hard, fast court. That is optimum for Felix. And he's not on his third year on tour like Ben is, or, it's not his first time at this tournament. So he's the one. Ooh, Jannik has gone long there with a backhand, and we're at 15-30 on his serve. But yeah, no, broadly, I would agree with you. I think Zverev would be right now at this tournament if that ankle is fine. And that also one other point about the ankle with Zverev, was it? I mean, I didn't watch the match. I know what happened afterwards. When I saw the scoreline, I was like immediately like, please tell me that Zverev had an issue. And it appears as though he did have an issue because otherwise I was very concerned. But I wasn't quite sure if that was sort of maybe Zverev controlling himself.
I think it was also because he was, I think the ankle plus he was absolutely done from the Medvedev match the day before. And, coming to Sinner is obviously...
You might be right, but I don't think that's a great excuse.
No, obviously not. But
not love on one.
No. But yeah, the ankle was clearly an issue. Ace at the tee to bring us to 30 all. Maybe this can go 3.
Oh, maybe it can. I mean, we don't forget, it's only 3 weeks ago, maybe we had a 3-setter between them in the Vienna final.
Yeah.
3 or 4 weeks ago. So, yeah, it can. Let me just share the score on the screen. Hang on a second.
Sinner, it's been talked about widely that Sinner's been tinkering with his serve since the US Open, making it more tricky to deal with that first delivery, even if he still is the best server on tour. Oh, it's a good point from Zverev. Sinner nearly escapes, but it will be break point for Zverev. First up. What a start this would be for the German.
Shelton, of course, is already out.
Is he out officially?
Yeah, he's out. And I'll tell you why. Because Zverev, how many matches has Zverev won so far in this tournament?
Uno.
Good. How many matches has Felix won in this tournament?
Uno.
Good. Who are playing each other in the last match?
Felix Zverev.
Right.
Sinner saves the break point with an ace down the tee.
So, one of the two players has to get 2 wins, right?
Yeah. Bingo.
So, although maybe... What about if Zverev wins this in straight sets?
Yeah.
And then Ben beats Sinner in straight sets. Then you'd have Jannik, Ben, and one other on 1 win. So there'd be 3 players on 1 win, and then it would come down to sets 1 or head to head. Sets 1, because I think if they follow in the WTA rules, I think sets 1. But I just think he's basically out. I think because he obviously lost in straights to Zverev, yeah.
How costly are those 3 set points that he missed in the second set?
Yeah, right. Yeah, especially if it does come down to sets. But yeah, right. I mean, we thought that at the time in a way. But he also had chances today. He gets to 6 all in the second set tiebreak, and he's 2 points away.
Well, gets to 7 all in the second set tiebreak. He's serving for a match point.
Yeah, serving for a match point, yeah.
And he just isn't there. I didn't see that particular point. First game goes on. Sinner nets a backhand.
Mm-hmm.
Relatively lengthy first game for Sinner standards. Usually these are over in a flash. Juice now. Tries to go down the tee, misses into the net. Zverev thinking will be climbing all over this second, or whether he's going to stand back and just get the return in play.
I mean,
Hasn't come forward a great deal.
You are a few seconds ahead of me, but he's not really known for ever hugging the baseline on return.
No. Does go long, and it will be a Zverev break point. Wow, there you go.
Yeah, on the forehand, they're going long.
Before this, the last 3 weeks, their last... trying to think about their last... Oh, never mind. I was thinking about their last... Oh, no, I'm thinking about their last 5-set encounter. Sorry, not...
So basically, Sinner's won. What's the head-to-head? I think Sinner won one and then lost a bunch in a row. And now Sinner's maybe on a 4-match winning streak against Zverev since the US Open.
23.
Yeah, which is obviously 5 sets. Ace down the tee to save another break point.
Yeah. I
mean, I would say Musetti, in a way, winning a match and also winning that one in, the way he did, might, for me, be a bigger shock than Sinner losing to Zverev. I didn't see Musetti winning a match at this tournament. I also thought he might lose all his matches in straight sets. Some people might say, well, that's de Minaur exposing his weaknesses. Yeah, maybe, but I just saw de Minaur as being the person in better form coming into this tournament. And also these conditions.
Yeah.
Jannik should win the point from here, and he does.
Yeah, I can see that. I feel as though it's different with de Minaur. I feel like now we've got to a place where it could be a mental thing. Obviously, serve
he says it might be. Yeah.
Yeah. Serve for it at 5-3, 5-4. Sorry. Just
yeah.
Sinner gets out of trouble and holds for love 1 in this first set. Nice start for the Italian, but bodes well that it will be competitive. Zverev obviously having 2 break points there. Feel as though that is classic Zverev, that he was... if you look how wide he was standing on the break points, he was guessing. And... he's guessing he's going to go into the backhand, which absolutely makes 0 sense, by the way, because, obviously Zverev's weak side is his forehand. But, yeah, leaving so much space up the tee for Jannik to hit it, and we all know how good Jannik is at hitting small targets. So, feels as though it's a bit counterproductive from Zverev to start things off on those break points. Just never have seen him go big on a second serve return, own the point straight away.
Yeah, that might not happen that often in his career.
Well, it hasn't happened that often in his career, but Zverev serving at love 1.
Yeah. I mean, I think players like Fritz, Zverev, Felix, that's the 3 that might well, no, Fritz, one of Zverev or Felix has got to go out. So, yeah, Zverev and Felix. And in the other group, Fritz and Alcaraz, I think, will be the 2 people to qualify. Musetti's not out of it yet, but might well need a win tomorrow. Of course, if de Minaur beats Fritz, then it might well come down to the 3 players with 1 win. But
only match he managed to nick a set of last year, de Minaur, was against Fritz.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be a wild win for him. It would just be a little bit of a surprise, particularly as... Is de Minaur out? I'm just trying to think. So
no, he's not out, no.
Yeah, right. So if de Minaur wins, then he'll have 1 win. Fritz will have 1 win. Assuming Alcaraz wins, might well be straight sets as well, then we would be in that scenario where 3 players are on 1 win each.
Zverev races to 40 love, looks to hold comfortably. Zverev's serve seems to have kicked up a gear since.
But there's certain players that I really can't imagine doing anything against Jannik, and de Minaur is one of them. Musetti is probably another.
Yeah.
On
this surface.
In this scenario, yeah, definitely. I mean, Musetti 5 sets at the French Open could be very interesting, especially depending on the form going into that match. But one of the other problems that Musetti has, though, is of course his longevity in these matches. I mean, he's retired once against Carlos in the French Open, and then also was basically just done in Monte Carlo. I think he had a tough 3-set win that day over de Minaur. So there's a couple of 3-set wins he's had over de Minaur this year, maybe more. It's a lovely forehand winner there from Sinner to bring up 40-15.
I remember that. De Minaur won the first 6-1, I think.
Yeah, that's what he did. I think he might even have got to 5 love or something. Yeah,
it was.
But anyway,
because that was the week that Musetti, in 3 separate matches, lost the first set either love or won, and then won in 3.
Yeah. So back to these 3 players: Zverev, Felix, and Fritz. There's some similarities with them. Felix, Fritz, and Zverev, all, just thinking of the matchup with Jannik, they're all on losing streaks of one sort or another against him. All of them cannot really hang with Jannik from the baseline. Zverev maybe has the best chance of that. He's just leveled up for 1-1, by the way, and he just hung with him from the baseline, interestingly enough. But he's the one of the 3 that might pose an argument the other way, but the other 2 less so. But they all need to have a 9 or 9.5 or 10 out of 10 serving day. And even then, may well lose the match. They might get to a tie break and see how it goes. But at least they have that. At least they have that in the locker. And Zverev losing 7-5 in the third in Vienna has shown that he's not far away when everything kind of goes for him. And he said that in his speech afterwards. Felix as well has had some moments against Jannik, but his return is just there's a Shaun of the Dead there, Casper Ruud. That's his father, by the way, next to him, of course, former player himself. But Felix on return, I think it's 5 sets maybe in a row, maybe 6 even actually for Sinner. Not just won those 6 sets, but hasn't been broken in any of them. And I'm not even sure he's had to face many break points in those 6 sets. So I did look back to see about those 6 sets, but I didn't see any break points. But that's a long time without breaking someone's serve,
Yeah.
It's about 35 or 40 games, something like that. I didn't count all the games, but
yeah.
That was a problem for Felix today as well. It was an intriguing match. It was interesting to see if Ben could get his first win at this level, top 10, all the rest of it. But both on return were not. Felix was marginally better on return than Shelton, but Shelton didn't break his serve from the end of that first set. He broke him twice in the first set, but that was it. And I think he had 1 break point across the 2 sets. And first serves, I think he was making about 1 in 2 first serves. And I think the first serve dynamic come the end of the match, I think Felix won 79% of the first serve. So, yeah, he wasn't really laying a glove on him. Now, Felix wasn't doing much better, but he was at least getting in some of the Ben Shelton service games. And, of course, none more so than the last game of the match.
Just a throwaway question as it looks Sinner's going to put himself 1-2 up. Sure. Sitting at 40-15, I'll just watch this point play out before Sinner steps up to serve into the Zverev backhand, Zverev return, and to put away from Jannik pretty much to hold for 1-2.
Go on, then question.
Someone like how much of an issue does someone like 2024 Basel Petri Pericard hold over Sinner in these sort of conditions? Does he, nick a tiebreak or?
The problem is, I'd love to know what his record is in tiebreaks, because he seems to get to tiebreaks, but seems to lose a bunch of them. I see him get to these tiebreaks, GMP, but then he goes and loses them. So I wouldn't be surprised. It's all well and good having that serve, and it's all well and good getting to, forcing top 10 players to tiebreaks, as he did with Taylor Fritz. And I know he took Taylor to 5 sets at Wimbledon this year. But
didn't create a break point though.
Don't know. Not sure if he broke serve in those. Did he just win
No,
two sets?
No. As in, sorry, I was saying didn't create a break point in those entire 5 sets.
You're talking about did GMP create a break point? Yeah. Yeah. No idea. But did he not break Taylor's serve at all? As in, what, did he win the first 2 sets 7-6, 7-6?
Yeah, as in, Petri Pericard didn't produce a single break point for the 5 sets.
Right, but what was the score in the match?
It was 2 seconds.
That's what I'm saying. Because we'll know if he broke serve in the first 2 sets. If he did, no, 7-6, 7-6. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So the first 2 sets were 7-6, 7-6. So yeah, we don't. I don't know if he created a break point. I don't even know if he broke serve.
No, but, he didn't. He didn't.
Oh, he didn't break serve. Okay, yeah. So yeah, but back to the point is, yeah, I'd love to know what GMP's tiebreak record is this year. If he's because it's all well and good pushing these players to tiebreaks, and then if you're losing more than 50% of your tiebreaks, you're going to lose a hell of a lot of matches.
So just against top tenors, he's played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's had 8 matches against top tenors, 7 of them this year.
Mm-hmm.
How many?
He's obviously won those 2 tiebreaks against Taylor, but he also lost 1 tiebreak in that match against Taylor.
In Beijing. So Dubai, first one was against Dubai against Medvedev earlier this year. No tiebreak. Fritz, obviously, 3 tiebreaks, 1-2, lost 1. Against Holger Rune in Canada, 1 tiebreak, he lost. He US Open against Musetti, he won 1 tiebreak and then lost in 4. Then Musetti in Beijing won 1 tiebreak, lost 1, and then lost a tiebreak against Musetti again in Brussels a couple weeks ago.
That's slightly better than I thought, actually. It sounds like he's 50-50 more or less on tiebreak.
Yeah, roughly. I can see if I can find.
Is all right.
I'll see if I can find his tiebreak record.
But back to the point, against Jannik, that's not enough. Like I know we're saying it's enough for Zverev, Fritz, but they've got more than just a big serve that they could still, do a bit more.
Mm.
And I just think that Jannik hasn't played GMP yet, right? Oh, there's a shank there from Sinner.
I'm not sure. I'll check that.
I think GMP needs something more than what he has right now to be, first of all, getting to the top 10, which is not exactly the conversation we're having, I know, but it's something to it. If Zverev holds here, then we'll just come to the live chat and we'll see what amazing offerings Ghosty, Nerland, Jake et al. Have offered. And yes, he does hold. Okay.
The only one who saved
John Brenner yesterday out of nowhere claimed that he's better looking than Lorenzo Musetti. Would you agree with that, John? So this is to me. Okay, right. So John Brenner yesterday out of nowhere claimed he's better looking than Lorenzo Musetti. Would you agree? No comment. A little bit of a hellos. Let me get my calculator and abacus. Oh yeah, right, indeed. Ghosty was sort of like, oh, what do you think of this format? And I think he was like, obviously not super keen. I don't mind it once a year. I just think that we could look at tweaking it, but I don't know how to tweak it, just to make it a little bit easier for everyone to understand and maybe even make it a little bit. I mean, I thought of a lovely drop shot there from Jannik to bring up 15 love. I thought of going like, there is one way to make it clear and mega entertaining, and that is to just go with games won, sorry. So like almost like in football, just doing it on goal difference, you know?
Yeah.
Now, what that does is it means you have no almost or not almost certain, not definitely, but what you do is you make every single game important. So even if Sinner's winning 6-3, 5-2, and you're going, well, this doesn't really matter now, this is all irrelevant. Well, actually,
but it does.
Him winning 6-3, 6-2 does matter on the chance of him losing a match later on, you know? And it also probably means it would be extremely unlikely you'd have anyone out after 2 matches, because they could go into their last match knowing 6-love, 6-2, and they could go through. Now, that the problem with that is you then just devalue the win a little bit. You know, you're still obviously amazing to win a tennis match, but you could technically win a match and actually lose it, because you could win a tennis match, for example, 7-6, 1-6, 7-6, right?
Yeah.
And you've won, right? But you've actually lost because you've lost more games than your opponent. So that's the problem with that. And I do think it is a problem.
Yeah.
Because that's not how it is, you know? Yeah.
I'm just looking at I'm still looking at GMP. Sorry, I've gone into a little rabbit hole.
That's good. I'm pleased you are.
He's about to hold for 3-2.
Yeah.
GMP has guess the percentages, or the percentage of return games GMP has won this year. He's played 1,030 return games this year.
Okay, 1,030. Okay, so
and
obviously 100 would be 10%, but he's not winning 10%. I'm going to guess 4%.
He's won 9% on return.
Okay,
games.
That's more than I thought. But then I guess I'm forgetting that he's coming up against players, and I'm forgetting about it because it's Indian Wells qualifying or whatever.
But his first serve return points won is 22%, which I'm gonna have to.
What Shelton did today, basically 21%. For Shelton did.
I'm actually gonna look at Shelton's return stats and see if they're, because obviously a lot of people that aren't, that like to think they know what they're talking about, saying that Ben's a serve bot, but yeah.
Ghosty, I'd give more points if you're bald. I'd actually give him points. That's what I would start with.
See, return games won for Shelton this year, 16%.
Wow, so that's okay. That's more. But Shelton's better than GMP. But
yeah, obviously. I mean,
with return games won, you do want to be winning more than 16%, I'm sure. But I'm kind of more interested in once we know, like GMP, we know it. You can look in the stats and not look at the stats, and you know it. Ben, we also know it, that it's an issue, in my opinion, his return game and his return of serve in general against the top 10 players in particular. But, you can win 16% of your return games and still make Grand Slam semifinals, 4th rounds, quarterfinals. His year, by the way, at Slams is as follows: semifinals, 4th round, semifinal. No, what am I saying? Semi-final, 4th round, quarterfinal, and then he was injured in
third or
4th round? Third round?
Third round, yeah. Against Manarino.
But forget US Open, you can't. That's nothing you can do about that in a way. If it was because of his negligence or something, then maybe different. But basically, I said to Jake, I think today, he maxed out at Grand Slams because who's he losing to? He's losing to Jannik Sinner.
So Sinner, Alcaraz, Sinner.
Exactly.
And then, Manarino doesn't count because,
So he's maxed out at the slam. Like, not maxed out. You obviously want to win those matches, but he's fulfilled his potential, let's say that, at all of those. Now, you might say he could have and should have won the first set against Jannik in Australia. He was serving for it. That's a little disappointing. Does he win that match anyway? Probably, almost certainly not. That's his level. Now, I would go as far as to say he even excelled or exceeded expectations, let's say, in Paris, because I'm telling you now, he's never winning a French Open. I don't think he'll ever make a French Open final. Maybe he'll do a Del Potro and make a semi one day, but that's kind of it. So him getting to the fourth round, and that could have gone 5 against Carlos. It was a close match. I think I did a live watch along for that myself, or if it wasn't me, then I was certainly backstage, I think, for Matthew. So, and it was exciting for 2.5 sets or so. And this is against the eventual winner of the title. So, yeah, in terms of slams, you can't complain.
Yeah, no, slams has never been an issue for Ben. His 3-set form is more is more questionable than his
I don't think he's not won a title this year either, I don't think.
Obviously he won Toronto.
Oh yeah, did he win Toronto, did he?
Yeah, Masters.
Oh, okay.
First
Sorry,
Masters,
Ben.
yeah.
Sorry, Ben.
Beat Kachanov in the final. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just looking at his 3-set form as Sinner looks to make a move 15-30 against on the Zverev serve.
Getting one of his, he got a couple of good wins. I mean, okay. As I say, his record must be terrible elsewhere because he's got some top 10 wins here. I don't know where de Minaur was ranked at the time, so maybe de Minaur was ranked 11 or probably was ranked outside the top 10 because he's seeded 9. But we know that Jannik and Carlos weren't there, and I think Novak as well. So he was outside the top 10. But that's a very good win for Ben in straight sets. So for de Minaur, he beats Taylor Fritz in straight sets, and then, yeah, as you said, beat Hatchanoff in the final.
Yeah, some interesting losses this year for Ben in 3-set formats. Coleman Wong's probably one that sticks out in Miami. Munar in Dallas, Goffin in Acapulco. It's had a terrible year against Davidic Fokina, lost 3 times this year.
Did just have an interesting point there at 15:30 that Sinner was very much in, but he has just gone long. So that's a little disappointing for Jannik.
It's strange because like you're talking about how good Ben is in 5 sets, but like for this grass season, played obviously 3 tournaments including Wimbledon, lost first round to Rindic Nesh in Queens, first round to Tien in Mallorca, and then obviously made quarterfinals Wimbledon.
Yeah, those pre-Wimbledon results surprised me because I think, and still do think, I don't have the same attitude about Wimbledon as I do French Open for him. There's a Wimbledon in him, but he's got a volley better than he did today in particular. Well, classic Shelton performance on the volley today. There were some sumptuous volleys that made you think he was a 9 out of 10 volleyer. And if you just saw the highlight reel, you'd go, wow, this is one of the best volleys in the game. But there were 2 or 3 that were just nowhere near what they needed to be. Either they didn't land in or they did land in, but they sat up nicely for Felix.
It's almost like obviously it's not for me to say because like I don't know, but I just feel like it's such an aggressive take back on his volley and like on his slice as well that it almost means it's either unreal or it's not going to work. Like it feels like it leaves no middle ground because of how aggressive the style is of volley.
3-3 here. Sinner serving.
15 love. Zverev nets a backhand. I love everyone with the what's wrong and what's right joke. That's
I know. Well, that's regurgitating. I think that sort of came up in, and I did easily won that ghosty. That I forget what it was I came up with, but I came up with a lovely riddle. And I think I started as well by saying something, and it led Ghosty down a garden path exactly where I wanted him to go. And then he said something else, and then I said exactly what I wanted to say involving the whole Wong pun. Anyway, United are playing Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League Women tonight, I think, which is what some people are talking about in the live chat.
Obviously, I was just talking about Shelton and GMP's return game, but then I was just looking at de Minaur's return stats.
How many games what percentage of games has he won this year on return?
I think it was games percentage of game. First serve winning on return was 33%.
Oh, that's not bad. He's winning 33% of points against opponents on their first serve.
Yes.
Yeah,
which is to 10% more than Shelton, and or 11%, and 17% more than GMP. But
he has to, because he's not holding as often as GMP, for example.
No, obviously not. Sinner goes along with the volley. Zverev manages putting it at his feet. Yeah, like, but then, like, de Minaur's record against like people ranked below him is staggering.
As in, like, he wins 98% of the time or something?
Yeah, it's like, but then he's lost, what was it, 16 in a row to top tennis since 2023.
So not even Shelton has gone that bad.
No. What Shelton has, I'm going to guess 8 top 10 wins.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he's got, as I say, he's got at least one in Canada this year.
Yeah, obviously. I'll double check that now. Yeah, any guesses? I'm going to guess 8.
I'll go fewer than 8 wins for him against top 10 opponents in his career.
Yeah. It's taking
but not much. I mean, it'd be 6 or 7, I thought.
Yeah.
Maybe less even. I don't know. I don't remember that many. I know he's not won against a top 10 player in any of these.
It seems that he has a tendency to run into Sinner before he manages to, play someone, like Rublev or, Rune, that's sitting at like 9 or 10, or even Musetti.
But he's also, I think this is only his 3rd full year on the tour. Jannik Sinner in his 3rd year on the tour. I'm not even sure if he was ranked as high as Shelton is right now.
No, I don't think he was. Well, I think 22 was his first full year, wasn't it? Or did he?
Who? Sinner? Sinner's first year was at least 2020. Oh, Shelton. Sorry. Was it 22? I thought it was 23, but it might have been 22.
Well, didn't he make Australian Open?
He made the Australian Open semis in 24. He made the US Open semis in 23.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I'm thinking Tommy Paul.
It might have been 22. It might have been 22 his first full year.
Maybe I'm thinking of Tommy Paul.
But I bet you if you got Shelton's year-end ranking, it was always significantly better than the year before. I mean, he wasn't... I'm guessing he finished outside the top 10 at the end of last year? Because he didn't make the ATP Tour Final.
Yes, it was 13 or 14.
Right. So, again, 13, 14, and we don't know what year end he's going to be yet, but it's going to be 6, 7, or 8, something like that.
Yeah. Well, the race for the top 5 is wide open.
Yeah, I saw very, very close. And I saw his live ranking was down to maybe 7 or 8. But he might win his last match, and then it suddenly gets him a couple of 100 points that might get him 6 or 5.
2 seconds.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. $15 love here on the Zverev serve, 34 minutes in. There was obviously a fair bit of vulnerability for Jannik in his first service game, but since then it's been a bit more comfortable for the Italian.
Yeah. Hasn't really had too many issues, but Zverev actually hasn't had any issues whatsoever.
This is more like, so I think probably we can put to bed that love and one. I think whatever happens from here on in, Zverev has done enough to show that there was clearly issues with that, especially in the second set, I think. Zverev can now, I think, because of that, shown me that he can win this match. I'm still making it sort of 75-25 in Jannik's favor, but
absolutely.
Yeah, he gets to 40 love, looking pretty comfortable here. Which would give me more satisfaction? Doing something for hours that came effortlessly, or something that takes a lot of effort? I mean, it depends on Nerlin what it is, because if you're talking about a tennis match, then they both can be amazing, right? I mean, you heard Djokovic say, not that I'm comparing myself to Novak Djokovic, but you heard Djokovic say just how amazing he felt for a year and a half when he just felt invincible. And I'm guessing to that extent, it probably felt effortless in many respects. So that's tennis, and therefore you can also get enjoyment from both of those. I mean, if you talk about moving apartments or something like that, I'm going for the effortlessly, please. I don't want to like be lifting up tables and chairs and sofas and moving mattresses and going down windy stairs with all that. Forget that. I remember moving a mate's washing machine more than a couple of years ago. It was about 5 or 6 years ago. What a day that was! From one side of Bond to the other in going up and down stairs, no lifts, etc. Yeah, I'd rather that had been effortless. Put it that way, Nerlan.
Sinner at 15 love.
Oh, lovely backhand there. But if Sinner wins this point, which obviously he does, I mean, Zverev has given that one away. I mean, Sinner was doing really well to hang on in that rally.
Yeah. There's 3 guys sat in bright orange behind.
I mean, I've seen a couple of people with orange hair. Oh, I see them now, yeah, with their fluorescent jackets or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that is proper. Yeah, there you go. The camera's just focused on them. That's proper standout, you know. I'm going to have to head off in a minute, unfortunately.
Yeah, no worries.
Sinner looks like he's going to hold very comfortably. Hasn't had any issues whatsoever since that first game. And now you're thinking, well, Zverev must be thinking, you know, if we get to, you know, 5-all juice, you know, how crucial were those first 2 break points that he had, you know?
Yeah, if he's serving to stay in the first set, yeah, indeed.
Just feels as though Zverev didn't give himself a chance. You know, he changed his return position, which I think is strange, considering, you know, if you've created the break point standing in that return position and then you've changed it, you know, it's very strange. Drop shot's very good from Sinner as he holds effortlessly.
Yeah. So we are now in that situation where Zverev is serving to stay in the set. But if the previous 4 service games for Alexander have anything to go by, then it should be a fairly comfortable hold. But we have seen so many tennis matches where that changes. Yeah, I think this has been it's been a good, positive opening 9 games. But as you say, I mean, he might end up.
Yeah, and how many times have we seen this from Zverev that, you know, he get like in a big match, especially against Sinner or Alcaraz, that, you know, he's fine, like holding on for however long, and then it gets to a crunch moment, and, you know, he's nowhere near as good as he needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
And especially how he plays the crunch moments.
Agree. I just think they're a little bit. I mean, that's not to say he can't get broken here, but I just think that they're bigger crunch moments than serving to stay in the first set and the second round robin match.
Agreed.
It's more like, you know, tie breaks in particular, big moments. But yeah, but I think Tony Nadal said something similar to that in many respects when he spoke earlier this year that some of his French Open losses, Zverev's that is, have been very much mental and sometimes just been a bit passive.
Absolutely. I mean, especially the match against Djokovic earlier this year, quarterfinals.
Yeah. But you could also maybe talk about the match against Rafa in French Open semi-final of 2022, the one when he gets injured. Don't forget he lost the first set after being 6-2 up.
The sad thing, we'll never know how that actually would have worked, you know, figured out, because, you know, it could have been one of the great matches.
I think he's just missed that forehand.
He has. Love 15. Sinner, here we go, looking to make a move now. Zverev serves up the tee, misses it, goes long. What does Sinner do with this return? Puts it forehand or backhand?
Where's he going to serve with this? I'm watching the first serve right now. He's going to go down the tee with this first serve, and he does, but he's missed it. With the second serve, I think he shouldn't go tee. I think he'll either go body or backhand.
he chucks in quite a slow second that is out by a millimeter.
Oh, so
Love.
I see. But he's landed it, but he didn't land that forehand. Right, I gotcha. Love
Sorry,
30.
yes, love 30. And you look at the line call, and it's
I got it right on both his serves, by the way. On the first serve,
yeah.
he went T, and the second serve, he went backhand.
I think he'll go T again on this first. He does go T. And Sinner moved to go wide, and that allowed the extra space. Zverev is in the service game, 15-30.
Yeah, that's a bit of a miscalculation there from Jannik, I think. I mean, it was obviously a good serve, and we don't know even if he got it back in play, he might answer the point. But Sinner seemed to move to his right slightly, thinking he was going to go out wide. Something in Zverev's movement, perhaps, that made him suggest that, but it cost him a few centimeters, maybe more, and that meant he couldn't even get a clean racket on it. 15-30.
Or Zverev shanks. It was an extended rally, probably the longest rally of the match so far. Sinner's movement just impeccable. Zverev pulling him from side to side, but then the change from Sinner. Again, Zverev not the one to change. As, we talk about it all the time, but Sinner's the one who changes and reaps the reward. 2 set points for the world number 1. Zverev goes out wide to the Sinner forehand. Sinner finds the return. Mid-court ball from Sinner, playing up the middle at the moment. Pulls him on the backhand, goes down the tee. It's nice and deep, but he misses. He misses. I didn't think that. That has just missed.
Yeah, I'm watching it now.
Survives just about.
I mean, Jannik did really well to get that return back.
Yeah, to neutralise that serve. It was a great serve, but how often do we see Jannik, neutralise an excellent?
Yeah, right. Oof, yeah, that has just missed. And I know we don't know, but I think Zverev takes that next shot normally, if you know what I mean, as though it's landed in, and he does hit the next shot long. Not that it matters. And I mean, he would even if there was an element of distraction from the out call, I still think he'd have been in huge trouble if that landed in.
Goes up the tee, should be a put away for Zverev, and I mean it's really unconvincing from Sasha, but he does get it done, and it's juice now. That felt like it had very little conviction.
Misha Zverev there in the box of Alexander. So very much a family affair with Alexander's and Misha's father there too.
Ace up the tee. Excellent work from
Zverev, yeah.
Can he escape? If he escapes from the game, does it, put anything?
I mean, it's good. Yeah, it's good for him in a way. He can feel good, but he knows that doesn't necessarily mean a huge amount.
No.
Maybe if it was against an underdog, and maybe someone who's a novice, it might dispirit them a bit. Maybe if it was against Shelton, for example, or something that could unnerve him, as we saw to some extent in that second set tiebreak a couple of days ago.
Oh, he went back into Sinner. Sinner didn't move. There was so much open space.
Sinner anticipated that, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of saw something in what Zverev was doing there, because it really was, for me, a 50-50 in terms of which direction Zverev was going to go. But before he even came close to striking the ball, Sinner stopped. You can see him sort of running back across court, and then you've got a dilemma for Zverev. Do you go in behind, or do you go the conventional way, if you like? And for whatever reason, Jannik was like, I'm reading something here, or I'm just gambling, maybe, and paused and did the right thing. And then Zverev messed up from there.
It will be another set point for Sinner.
I think on that first forehand after the serve, he was a bit passive there, Alexander.
Yeah.
Zverev, Sinner putting the smash away. Set point number 3. Fergus here thinking, please just get this set done so I can sail off into the sunset.
Zverev serves wide into the Sinner backhand. Backhand down the line from Sinner. Forehand down the line, nice and deep. And it's a put away volley from Sinner to steal the first set. Zverev is absolutely furious. He's shouting at his box. And Sinner takes the first.
Yeah, that was an easy volley.
Never going to miss that in a million years.
All right, Fergus. Big thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much. I will see you very soon. Thank you, everyone. Yep. I'll see you soon.
Cheers, Fergus. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oakley Dokley, 47 minutes for that set. And it does eventually go the way of Jannik Sinner. And many of you going, well, that's no surprise. But given the nature of that set and Zverev's comfortable holds for 4 of his 5 service games, and the fact that Zverev was getting looks on the Sinner serve, none more so than in the first game when he had a bunch of break points. And yet, 10 games, Zverev hit 6 winners. So that's a winner every 2 games, more or less, which is not stunning. It's not electrifying. Zverev, by the way, getting first serves in 87% of the time. So Jannik is doing a phenomenal job on those first serves. But the problem for Zverev is, and that probably happened a lot in that last game, second serve points won, 25%. So, 6-4. I think it does go the way of Jannik Sinner, the favourite. A step closer to the semis. I think a straight sets win for Sinner would make him in the semis. Yeah, Cahill is staying on for another year. It's been an on-off topic since he said he was quitting at the end of the year, which would have been April, maybe? Or maybe just after the French Open. Sometime in that period anyway, sometime in the spring or the early part of the summer. But by Wimbledon, as in like the day after he won Wimbledon, it was like, I think I'm staying. And then I remember speaking to Pam Shriver about this. She spoke to Darren the night of the Washington final. And Darren said that there'd been some kind of game or something that they played, or like they were playing cards the night before or something. And they sort of did a deal. If you win Wimbledon, I'm going to stay on or something like that. That's the story. Anyway, he is staying on for next year, and that's that. Yeah. His name is Sinner here, 30 love on serve. Make sure you hit the like button, by the way. And of course, if you haven't already done so, do hit subscribe. Furthermore, if you want to get some tennis equipment, and I know Lerlan, you're an avid tennis player, forehands, backhands, returns, and serves. Click the link below, in the description below, for the Tennis Warehouse, and put in the word TALK10, that's the code, TALK 10, to enjoy discount on various items from the Tennis Warehouse. Oh, lovely backhand across court there from Zverev, winner, 40-15. Cool, just clipping the line. Yeah. Shall we bring up the subscriber count? Shall we do that for you, people? Okay, backhand return. No, that didn't land in from Jannik. Yeah, I feel as though it's going to be something like that now, Ghosty. Misses the first serve there, Jannik. Backhand return from Zverev. Backhand error from Sinner. Ace, Jannik Sinner. 1 love. Next up will be Zverev to serve. Yeah, good luck with that. Man United PSG. Don't forget it's the women's Champions League, not the men's. We're on an international break. You see everyone going, Sinner, Sinner. Okay. So, yeah, it does feel like a 4 and... I mean, obviously, Yannick's served first. So, yeah, 4 and 3 feels about right. But good. Just a couple of first serves there, though, for Zverev. That's pretty important. It's very much on top in this rally. Jannik, though, really defending very well there with some excellent depth. And now we're probably at neutral after that defensive shot. And Zverev puts a forehand into the net, much to his chagrin. I wish I could shed light on who that is in the stadium, but look very dark. Zverev, I think, is probably lamenting the fact that that really good defensive shot from Sinner, you know, just on the stretch there, landed on the baseline. Ooh, that's unlucky for Zverev as well because it lands in, but it did clip the net. I have no idea who Nick Fuentes is. Good first serve, but Jannik gets it back in play, but Yannick's not going to get that backhand in play. 30-15. Oh, chagrin. I didn't get that first ghosty. Oh, excellent play from Zverev with a serve +1. (40-15). Don't worry, people, I'm just getting my charger. So I'm still here. No, I've got to charge this laptop. Zverev holds. One game all. I have no idea who he is. Okay, one game all. Sinner to serve. Second serve. Body serve, which Zverev deals with pretty well. Your favourite ghosty is taken to Twitter to share his excitement at today's win. Love 15 here on the Jannik Sinner serve. Forehand to forehand right now. Backhand defense there. Zverev very much on the attack, but Sinner, of course, is defending unbelievably. And are we back at neutral? I would suggest we probably are. Drop shot Jannik, but Zverev is going to get that, and he's going to have an easy put away volley. Love 30 on the Jannik Sinner serve. Love 30. Okay. Backhand return is pretty good. And it's going to be love 40 now on the Jannik Sinner serve. So early part of this second set, much like the early part of the first set, Jannik Sinner is going to have to fend off some break points. So love 40 here. Of course, Jannik has come out of far worse situations than this before. Remember when he was love 40 down to Djokovic at the Davis Cup in 23 and saved 3 match points in that scenario. He saved one of these break points, so it's 15-40. Good serve down the tee, as Jake highlights. Another good serve from Jannik, this time out wide, arguably catching Zverev on the surprise hot foot, and it's another breakpoint save. So it's 30-40 now. One game all in this second set. My favourite Man United player right now is Cunha. Another good serve from Jannik, but this time it's well defended by Zverev. Defended again, is it? No. Deuce. And Zverev is, Sinner is pumped for that one. Deuce. Sinner goes in the net. Of course, he gets 3 first serves in when he needs it. An hour and 1 minute on the clock. Backhand return from Zverev. Backhand down the line there from Sinner. Now is Sinner on the attack. Does really well there. Is he going to put the volley away? He's got enough on the volley, yes. And that had to be perfect. Zverev couldn't get to it. Game point for Jannik Sinner and a 2-1 lead. Okay. Advantage Sinner. Ace. And he holds. 2-1 Jannik Sinner. We'll take a quick break. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material, such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Things tennis. Hit that subscribe button. We will, of course, have a live stream tomorrow afternoon for Taylor Fritz against Alex de Minaur. So do tune in for that one. First serve down the tee from Zverev, and he's going to win the point here surely. He's got a very easy smash, which he puts away. 15 love. Fifteen love here, Zverev. Backhand return from Jannik. Forehand to forehand right now. Forehand from Zverev goes into the net. 15 all. Forehand from Zverev, forehand from Jannik. Jannik changing direction there onto the backhand of Zverev. Nice change of direction once again from Jannik. That's a drop shot, but Zverev is going to chase this down, is he? And it goes out. 15-30. Yeah. Missed the first serve, does Zverev. Second serve, hour and 7 minutes on the clock. Backhand return. Backhand Zverev. Good depth there from Alexander. Ooh, Zverev. Sinner tries to change direction there, but it doesn't work. 30 all. Yeah, it feels like it, doesn't it? But not overly. We're not talking about exhausting it and looking too predictable like Djokovic against Nadal in 2020 French Open final. And I think he's winning a lot of points. Even though Zverev is chasing them down, ultimately Sinner is still winning the point, which is obviously all that matters. Good first serve there from Zverev. And Sinner doesn't make the return. Yeah, but also right times as well. But yeah, a little bit more often than you might expect. Good serve down the tee. Ace from Zverev, 2 all. Here's your mate Felix. Happy with the win, he says. Look at all that character. He saved all 3 break points because he was getting his first serves. And I think he had 2 aces and 1 ace and 2 unreturned serves. Good serve there from Jannik. But Zverev is in the rally now after a decent return off that one. But he's dumped that forehand long. 15 love. $30 love, unreturned serve. And that one was, I think, a bit more makeable, actually. Missed the first serve there, Sinner. Backhand return is going to land in to the rally here. Backhand to backhand. Now it's on the forehand of Zverev. That's a lovely forehand winner there from Zverev. 30-15. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, Sinner and Zverev, maybe the 2 best servers in the world, GMP apart. Good body serve there, but Zverev has dealt with it well. And Sinner puts a forehand into the net. This is the moment that Sinner won that first set. So 30 all, 2 all here. Good serve down the tee there from Jannik. Can he put the +1 away? He doesn't put it away, no. Now he's going for the drop shot. Sasha runs it down. But this time the drop shot, he doesn't work in terms of winning the point outright because Sinner doesn't pass Zverev. Zverev puts the volley away. So 30-40, another break point for Zverev on the Sinner serve. Never happened to me in my life, Nolan. So Sinner here serving 30-40. Ace, of course. Why would we expect anything else? Zverev cannot believe that. He's put his racket in his mouth. Now, is he suggesting he thinks it didn't land in? Or it's just can't believe it. He's hit an ace down break point. It's like Djokovic-esque, isn't it? Oh, it's either sold out or near as damn it. I mean, it's Jannik Sinner in Italy. Come on. I'm not sure what the capacity is, though. 10,000 maybe? 12,000? Good serve out wide. Sinner should put this away. And he does in terms of winning the point at least. Game point, Jannik Sinner. Okay. Served on the tee. And Jannik Sinner holds. He's delighted with that hold. 3-2. Getting the first serves in just when it matters. Zverev is talking to the umpire about something. Maybe he isn't convinced about some of these serves landing in. Okay. So I think Zverev is questioning whether there might have been a let on one or more of those first serves from Jannik. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick break. When I'm now done, but Jamie will be here shortly to take over. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Hey, thanks for taking the time to, well, you haven't got any choice, actually. I'm just talking at you, if you like. But I'm here also to present to you why I think it's not a bad idea and not that expensive as well if you become a member. And this is how you can do it, and this is what you can gain. So if we look here at the Talking Tennis sort of homepage, if you like, on YouTube, we can see this little button here which says join. It is also pinned in the live chat as well, and you can also, I think, see it just below most of our videos, certainly the live ones and so on. Now, why is it a good idea to join and become a member? Well, in the live chat, you can add little funny things, you can add emojis and all sorts of things, but possibly more importantly, you can get to access some live videos, such as this one here, where we look back on the last sort of few moments from the Billie Jean King Cup. So there are little bonuses such as this one, but there are many, many more. And in fact, if we have a quick look at all of the members only stuff, I repeat, you will see very, very quickly some of the top stuff that we've had for members only over the last 12 months since the channel began. Remember, these videos are for members only. You can become a member from as little as about $2 a month, €2 a month, £2 a month, something like that. There are various different things. Oh, and by the way, you'll also be supporting the channel. So it's a win, 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 win scenario. Let me just show you some of the members only stuff. For example, we've got an exclusive little clip there talking to Laura Siegmund, Laura Tsurenko, her encore interview, some doubles footage there from Monastir, the Germany press conference pre-tournament Billie Jean King Cup, Claire Burrell talking as well to the media in her press conference in Monastir, Storm Hunter and Alicia Parks interview, Rebecca Masarova, her press conference, Coco Gauff exclusive for members only, albeit it was in Madrid. But these are just some of the things, some of the interviews and etc. Like Lestien here, a chat with him, Emma Navarro, and so on and so forth. So many little bonus videos available for just €2 a month. So what are you waiting for? Become a member. Or don't. It's okay.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I was on mute. Perfect. I was just saying hello, guys, and welcome to continued commentary of the World Tour Finals match between Jannik Sinner and Alexander Zverev. Just watching a fairly big point here, actually. So Sinner continuing to apply pressure to the Zverev serve. I think we're at 30 all. Second serve to come from Sasha Zverev. Just going to see how this point plays out. Deep return forehand there from Jannik Sinner. And now we're at a baseline rally. Zverev's hit it out, and it's a break point for Sinner. Thank you, Jake. Nice to see you as well. It's been a little while. I haven't been just been quite busy, so I haven't really had the time to be on the channel as much recently. But nice to see you're still around, Jake. So yeah, big point here for Sinner, and it's kind of had that feel this match. I think Sinner's sort of been knocking on the door really on the Zverev serve throughout the match, and Zverev has just sort of been just trying to stay on serve and stay afloat. Here we go. It's backhand to backhand. Now it's Sinner's backhand down the line. Sinner's going for the drop shot, and he has pulled it off, and he's broken, and he's up 4-2, and we may not have that much longer left in this one. It's 4-2, and he's really been, obviously the drop shot is something that Jannik Sinner's been working on, isn't it? But he's really used it really effectively today. I think he's actually a really high success rate on that drop shot tonight, and it helps him achieve the break, which could potentially be fatal for Zverev's chances. So 6-4, 4-2, the Italian crowd getting excited. Just seeing the live odds here on the screen as well. Sinner 33-1 on to finish this match off now. Yeah, Zverev did have some break points actually at the start of this. Set, he had three break points. He was up love 40, and Sinner just shut the door in his face by taking charge of the rallies and holding serve. Really hard to see a way back for Zverev now, really. But he's got the first point here, love 15. I mean, he's obviously done better than he did in their previous meeting, right, in Paris last month, when Zverev was taken to the cleaners, 6-love, 6-1. He's got 6 games on the board, but kind of, it hasn't really felt like too much jeopardy. Really, it's been Jannik Sinner really well and truly in the ascendancy. Thank you, John. Yeah, I think that may have been somebody else that we were with that was kind of being quite aggy during that Euros final. It may have even been my dad on that occasion, but probably the less said about that, the better. Euro 2020, which of course was actually 2021, wasn't it? That final that we watched England lose in the White Swan in Pimlico. Here we go. I'm just seeing where we are now. It's love 30. I mean, it's a little bit of a sniff here for Zverev. As I say, he has had an opportunity or two on the Sinner serve, but let's see. Here we go, and it's a big serve from Sinner to get to 15-30. He just played the big points, as you would expect, really. He's played the big points fantastically well, Sinner, tonight. Of course, Jannik Sinner, defending champion here. Zverev, 2-time winner in the past, won it in 2021, first iteration in Turin. And he also won it at the O2 as well in 2018, which was, I think, only the second time Zverev had made the Tour Finals, when he won it in 2018. First time he played it was 2017. I remember him playing a match against Roger Federer, which I went to actually at the O2 in 2017. Federer came out on top in 3 sets. But here we go. It's 15-30. Forehand to forehand here. Zverev with the backhand. Zverev's at the net, in control of the point. Oh! Sinner comes up with a brilliant little half volley pass beyond the reach of Zverev there. So he's back to 30. You're again playing the big points phenomenally well. Looked like Zverev was in charge, and I don't think he did that much wrong with the approach. But he's just dug that ball out fantastically well there, Sinner. 30-0. And you really think this is probably a must-win game for Zverev, isn't it, really? He goes down 5-2. I know it's still only the 1 break, but it feels like a long way back from there. Must-win game for Zverev. Backhand to backhand here at the moment. Both rallying balls. Zverev ups the pace with a forehand, and he gets the point. Sinner nets it. Aggressive forehand there from Zverev. And he's got, I believe it's just the second game that he's had break points, but as I say, he had love 40 at the start of the set, so it may be his 4th break point. May have got those stats wrong, but anyway, it's a break point chance for Zverev. What's Sinner going to do here? Is it going to be bringing the stat up there? Let's have a look. Oh, it's Zverev is actually 0 from 6 on break points. Here we go. Serve down the tee from Sinner. Doesn't come back from Zverev. I think he'd be disappointed about that. I mean, it was good serve from Sinner, but Zverev read it and was there. I think he'll think he could have made that return. We're back to deuce. Of course, we've got the other group coming tomorrow. We've got Alcaraz against Mazzetti in the evening, and we've got Fritz against Dimonor in the day session. A rare or first night session for Alcaraz in this tournament, I believe. Second serve to come from Sinner. Oh, maybe that wasn't the second serve, but it was a fantastic ace down the middle. May have been a let cord on that first one, so it may have still been a first serve, but Zverev just trudging over to the other side of the net, looking fairly despondent at that. Break point a couple of minutes ago. Now it's advantage Sinner, 5-2. Went up the tee again. Missed it this time. Zverev was there again. And here we go. Sinner's gone down the line, got a bit of luck with the net cord there, and he's gone long with a forehand, and it's back to deuce. Bit of tightness here, maybe from Sinner. I'm not sure. Perhaps Zverev is maybe just sensing that it's kind of now or never as well. Up the pace a little, maybe on a couple of those forehands, but you wouldn't expect that mistake really from Sinner. Sinner leading Zverev 12-6 on the aces. Is he going to come up with another one here? Well, he hasn't come up with an ace, but he's come up with an unreturnable. Big serve down the tee. Back at Sinner. That serve been really reliable tonight, as you would expect again. Thank you guys as well for all the subscriptions. We've got over 20,000 now. Yeah, I remember in the early days, was it autumn 22, John, or maybe August 22 that you started? I can't remember. So, yeah, fantastic work from everyone. As Sinner holds, it's 5-2. Zverev looks like he thinks that could be that, and you'd be forgiven for agreeing with him, really. It's 5-2. It's Jannik Sinner, one game away from continuing his 100% record this year at the Tour Finals. Thank you, John. Annual appearances. Yeah. Oh, hi, Ghosty. Nice to see you. I think it's easy to get a ticket at Old Trafford now. Ghosty, I think John will know. Although I think that night that we went up to Old Trafford to watch a Man United Arsenal game in 2010, and I believe John Silk got a ticket on the same day, and that was when United were good. So you can imagine how easy it must be to get a ticket now, Ghosty. 2010, God, yeah, 15 years ago that was. So yeah, as we see, sort of Sinner just taking a big deep breath at the changeover. I think it's probably a lot easier to get a ticket than what it is. I've heard it's extremely difficult to get a ticket at the Tour Finals this year. Went a couple of times at the O2 in London, which was a good experience. Hit the like button, guys. Did you ever go, John, to the O2 to watch the Tour Finals? Can't remember if you said you had or not. Oh yeah. Anyway, Zverev serving at 2-5. Of course, Sinner going for what would be his This would be his 5th consecutive victory against Zverev as well. He's really got his number at the moment, hasn't he? Particularly this year. Leads the head-to-head 5-4. Would be 6-4. As I say, he's won the last 4. Potentially, if he wins this, it would be 5 in a row. Zverev hasn't beaten Sinner since that 2023 US Open round of 16 match. So, real turnaround in this rivalry. Sinner won the first one, Roland Garros in 2020. Any of you can remember that? Zverev went on to win the next 4. Twice actually at the US Open, notably in 2023 as well, a couple of years ago. As I say, Sinner's won the last 4, and did indeed take him to the cleaners just last month. Anyway, Zverev looking like he's going to serve this game out. He's going to keep Sinner honest, and he's going to make Sinner serve it out. Sorry, John, I haven't come up with any new catchphrases during my time away from the show. So Zverev does hold, and it's 5-3. Sinner will serve for the match. And to be honest, I can't really see Sinner not serving it out. What do you think, guys? I think he's going to serve this out to 15. What do we think? Deep breath from Sinner. Up he comes. Serving for, as I say, a 5th successive victory against the German. Serve out wide. Return long from Zverev. 15 love. Quarter of the way there. Could be a fairly early night for you tennis fans out there as well. It's 9:15 in the UK. John's predicting him serving it out, but maybe via a deuce. Let's have a look. Good return there from Sasha. Down the line, big backhand. Drop shot use here from Sinner. It's not a very good one. Zverev laps that one up. A rare drop shot. Error, really, I guess, there from Sinner. I think Zverev saw that one coming, and it also wasn't very well. Certainly wasn't as well executed as some of his other ones. 15-0, no panic yet from Sinner. Channeling my inner Andrew Castle, John. Big serve out wide from Sinner, coming in for the volley. Brilliant. Made that look really easy. Drive volley. It's always a harder shot than it looks, isn't it? The drive volley. I've certainly missed a few of those. But Sinner makes no mistake. But never missed one against John, because famously he avoids playing against me. 30-15, 2 points from victory. A wild first serve there from Sinner. Big backhand down the line from Sinner. In he comes. And it's 40-15. What did I say? Might serve it out to 15 here. 2 match points for Jannik Sinner. For a fairly routine victory. And I must say, I think John may have even predicted this in his pre-match WhatsApp to me. 4-3. Is he going to finish with an ace? Goes out wide. Zverev's there. But it's into the net. Sinner wins. 6-4, 6-3. As routine, really, as the scoreline would suggest. Couple of chances for Zverev, didn't take them. Sinner upped his game when he needed to. And that's the match as my betting stream comes to an end. Thank you guys. Yeah, leave the comments, like and subscribe. Thank you for joining John and myself for 20 minutes. Sinner defeats Zverev kind of as we would have expected it to go, really. 6-4, 6-3, no dramas. And we'll see you next time. Thank you guys. See you soon.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.